Hey guys, Nick Ritchie here again for another video, and today I want to talk about power anchors. So what is a power anchor? And as it relates to your fitness goals or your health goals or that area. Now, first of all, I remember back in the gym when I first started, I looked up and I saw a guy and he was approaching a bar, a big heavy bar with some plates on either side, and it looked like he was about to do a squat. And the reason that it looked like is that first he looked at the bar, and then I saw him grab his hat, hold onto it and adjust it a little bit, and then I saw him grab his weight belt and adjust that a little bit, and then he stepped forward, and then he grabbed the bar with his left hand and his right hand, and then he stepped under the bar, and then he breathed all the way in, and then he pressed the bar up, stepped back, and then squatted the weight back and all the way up. Have you ever seen somebody approach a lift in that particular way? I also remember watching pretty recently a man called Skip LaCour, who's a national champion bodybuilder, and he's been in the industry for a long time. I noticed one of his DVDs that he has a specific process that he uses. He slaps his chest before he does any type of lift, and perhaps you've heard of anchors or you've heard of power anchors before. And what I'm talking about here today is I'm talking about a way to put yourself in a specific state, because we all have those days. Do you have those days where you feel really strong, where you feel really powerful, where you feel like you could just take the world on, and when you go to the gym, you're able to absolutely perform at your best, and every lift seems almost effortless, is that even though you're putting in the effort and the strength and the power, you just feel like it's all there, it's all congruent, and it's all locked in place for you, versus those days where you go to the gym and you go for your run, or you go to lift something, and you don't feel quite as strong as you know that you have been in the past, and you feel maybe weaker, or you feel slightly off in your numbers as far as your performance in the gym, or how strong you are, or how long you go, the duration or the way that you produce results in the gym is actually a lot different. It's maybe not quite meeting your expectations. So what is the difference between the days when you perform to a high level versus the days that you perform to a lower standard? What is the difference between the two? That difference is in your strategies and in your use of anchors. So our strategies is a sequence of steps that we not only go through sometimes in our head, but also a sequence of steps that we go through with our physiology. For example, I mentioned the guy who was squatting when I first joined the gym, and I saw him gearing up for a squat, and he had the whole process of standing there, slapped his legs, adjusted his cap, adjusted his belt, left, right hand, and then under the bar, breathed in deep, and then lifted the weight off. That's what we call a strategy, or a sequence that we go through in order to create a specific result. And on the days where you're not performing quite as good, or quite at the level that you want to, maybe you're not using that strategy. Maybe you're not going through that specific strategy in your physiology. The next step is recognizing if you're not aware of the strategy that you use in order to lift the most amount of weight and to feel the strongest, or to go the extra mile, the extra distance, is if you're not aware of the physical strategy, then are you aware of the psychological strategy that you're using? So we all use a psychological strategy before we lift some weights, before we create a specific result. The guys who are constantly going in and performing at their best almost every single time are running through a specific strategy in their mind in order to create a very specific result. And that specific result is created because they'll have a sequence of pictures, sounds, and feelings that they go through in their mind in order to set themselves up to create that specific result. So the guy who's adjusting his cap, wriggling his belt, grabbing left, right hand, and squatting, what he's doing is most probably he's not only going through a physical sequence, a strategy with his physical body, but he's also going through a strategy in his mind. He may be visualizing himself grabbing the bar before he does it. Then he may see himself squatting the weight all the way down and all the way up. And then he may see himself completing the set successfully, powerfully, and strong. So what is the sequence that you're using? What is the sequence or the strategy that you're using in order to perform at your best? When you discover that strategy, you can begin to replicate it so that every single time you want to perform at your best, you can do that. Now, when I say that, it's every single time that you want to perform at your best. We all have days where we think we should perform at our best, but we go, nah, I don't know if I really want to today. And there's kind of that other things that are playing in your mind. Maybe the kids are running amok, or maybe you've had a challenging time at work, or maybe you've got relationship challenges. Whatever it is, I'm sure that you do have days like that as well. But being aware of your strategy allows you to take control of the days that when you have a really good, strong, powerful day versus the days that you don't. So that's your strategy. To work out your strategy, just go through now, or if you want to grab a piece of paper and rewind this video, think of the last time that you performed at your best. Think of the last time when you were absolutely powerful, absolutely strong, and just really think hard and think of that time, of that moment when you were really powerful and strong, and think of the sequence that you went through, say on a specific exercise, of that particular process or strategy that you went through. What did you do with your physiology? How did you move your body? What did you look at? What did you physically feel with your hands? And what sort of sounds were you hearing around you? And then next, what were you playing in your head? What did you see inside? Think of what you saw in your head. Think of the types of things that you were saying to yourself. Were you saying, this is it, it's time to get this done, or game time, or whatever you were saying inside your head? Notice what you were saying. Notice what pictures you were playing in your head as well. Notice whether you saw yourself lifting the weight. Notice whether you saw yourself going the extra mile. Notice whether you saw yourself completing it successfully. And then notice the feelings in your body. Notice the feelings of feeling totally powerful and totally strong. And think about that time. Write it out. Get really clear on it, and then go to the gym. The next time that you go to the gym, or the next time that you want to perform at your best, go through that same strategy purposefully, consciously, and just notice what happens. Notice how you feel. Notice the difference, and notice that you can replicate that difference, so that rather than having those lousy days and not knowing why, then you know exactly why you have days where you're not performing at your best. So I'd encourage you to do that. Once you've done that, check back on this video, comment below with how that went for you. I mentioned anchors before, and what I want to share with you is that anchors, in a previous video, which you can click a link to go to that, what is an NLP anchor, you can learn more about what an NLP anchor is and how you can use it to enhance your performance. An anchor is a very specific physiological or psychological process we can go through in order to trigger ourselves to create a specific feeling instantly. Whether we want to feel instantly powerful, instantly strong, in whatever way we want to create a very specific psychological and physiological result, we can create an anchor, which is what the guy on the DVD that I was mentioning to you, Skip LaCourt, is why he's slapping his chest, because he's creating a very, very specific psychological and physiological process and trigger or anchor, so that he can create a very specific result for himself. So I hope you found this video really useful. If you have, click the share button below and share it out. And of course, join our Facebook group. It's the Psychology of Health and Fitness using NLP. So search for that in Facebook. Jump on to nickritchielive.com by clicking the link below. You can grab some free ebooks, free training tips and tools to create the type of success in your health and fitness results you're looking for. I'll catch you again for another video. Thanks for watching. My name is Nick Ritchie. Bye-bye.